Hi, I wanted to come in for a minute this morning and talk about keto again. And I know I talk about keto a lot, but it's the most popular lifestyle right now that, you know, tons and tons of people are following it. And you see so many amazing successes and things going on that can be a bit discouraging if you're not one of the people who are having the, 30 pounds in a week weight loss. The weight loss that you see if you're a member of a lot of the groups and things like that can be astounding, but I think the bigger benefit of it, I read a few articles this morning, there's so many and I hope I don't get off track, but some of the health benefits that you get off of it are way more important than being thin, to me. If you've read very much lately that a lot of diseases are fed by sugars. Cancer is fed by sugar. So when you eat a lot of carbohydrates, then that feeds the sugars that are in your body. I've been eating the keto lifestyle now for about 2.5 years, and I've had lost 57 pounds. I've not veered off at all. This is how much I cheat. I cheat zero because I'm not hungry and I don't miss anything. I don't miss anything at all whenever I'm on keto. It's such good food. You get plenty of vegetables and meats, and I limit my dairy, but you do get dairy. And I personally can't do a lot of the extra fats and things like that because it irritates my stomach lining and has caused me issues, but I do stay very low carb. But I've gained, probably in the last 4 months or so, about 20 pounds back from the 57 that I had lost in keto. And if it were not for the other health benefits that I get from keto, I would be extremely discouraged. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm discouraged. It's because when you try so hard, when you wake up, because I also do intermittent fasting, and when you wake up every day and you say, oh yeah, I'm not going to eat today until noon, and you go, at night, you're like, oh, I don't eat after 8 o'clock. That's not a big deal for me because I haven't been hungry with this way of eating. And I do stick to it, and I don't eat grains at all. It's not that I'm looking for the whole grains and things like that to eat, or eating, I've never tried a smart cake or a smart bun or any of that. We have tons of that, and we sell tons of that to people who are very successfully losing weight. But I thought, I'm throwing my hands up here, that if I was being extremely strict and I didn't eat any, it's not that I don't eat any carbs, because there's a little bit of carbs in nuts and there's a little bit of carbs in dairy and those kind of things, but I thought if I ate no grains at all and no sugars at all and just cooked with good fats and things like that, man, I would be a total success story with this way of eating. I continue this way of eating because I'm no longer diabetic, and I don't wake up stiff in the mornings, and my feet don't hurt underneath, and my shoulders and my joints don't hurt. There's so many other benefits that are the reason that I eat this way. But what I wanted to get to is I have been very strict and very hard on myself about staying strictly keto and not doing anything that might throw me off, that I think that I may have caused some kind of change in my body that had made it not work for me in the weight loss aspect anymore. And I don't understand why, and maybe we'll understand more as there are more studies. But I did a little research this weekend on, thank you for joining me. I can't read the comments right now. They're in blue for some reason. But I'm going to continue to tell my story a little bit. And hopefully I'll answer it. If not, I'll come back to the questions after and make sure to answer them in the comments section. But I'm very strict to what I do. No grains at all, no sugars at all, no fruits other than berries at all, no excess of anything at all. And you would think that would be, just weight loss palooza. And the 57 pounds that I did lose came over a more than 2-year period. So, we're looking at a pound or two on a good week. But now that I've gained 20 of that back without changing the diet, without going off keto or low carb, without adding anything in, without cheating, it's discouraging. But I want to tell you what I read a little bit in the last couple of days about what do they call it? not carb loading, but because I can't be trusted to do that, because if I do eat something bad, I'm afraid that it will continue to grow on me. But it's carb cycling, I believe is what it's called. And the most successful people that are doing the carb cycling, they're not like going and eating fried chicken on their carb day. They are eating a little bit more carbohydrates than usual. So if you usually try to keep yours around 20 grams, which is where I keep mine, then maybe you can go up to 50 1 or 2 days a week. And you go up to 50, the way that I'm gonna try it is by adding in something good. So I have been consistently gaining every week a pound or two without cheating or doing anything wrong. And so I'm like, well, what if I try something? What if I try this? So I bought these low-carb tortillas. I have not had a tortilla in years. It's just, I haven't done it. And I made chicken salad. The first time I've had chicken salad in a long, long time, since we used to make it here at Get Healthy. So I made chicken salad, and I made my husband and I yesterday at lunch, each, and we have 2 kinds of these, each, and these are small, each a wrap and a half. And I made 3 and we divided them. And oh my gosh, it was so good. It was so good. But in the back of my mind, I was thinking, that's cheating. I'm cheating. I'm really messing up. And I've been so discouraged that I was gaining a pound every day at that point, that what in the world could it be? These have 15 grams of carbs, but 9 grams of fiber. So that's 6 grams net carbs, and that's per tortilla. So we got about 9. Well, for dinner last night, there were 2 more of those tortillas, so we each had another of the chicken salad wraps, and I waited for what I knew was going to happen when I got on the scales this morning, because I do keep a food diary. I have for years, and I do weigh every single day. But I was prepared for the extra fluids and things that having grains in my diet for the bellyache and the bloating and all that I expected to come, and it didn't. My stomach didn't hurt, I didn't bloat, and I was down 2 pounds this morning. I don't understand it at all. I'm not going to start eating this every day, although this is my stash that I'm bringing home so that we'll have them. But because I looked at it and thought, oh my gosh, we could have enchiladas sometime or something. So but what I was thinking was I'm gonna try the carb cycling, but the way that I'm gonna try it is, I miss beans so bad. Y'all have no idea unless you've been keto and low carb for a long time too. I love beans, and I don't understand how they can be. I lost the signal for a minute. And so I told my husband, we're gonna have some beans. I'm not going to cook a whole pound because we'll probably eat a whole pound, but we're going to have some beans and some brown rice now and then. Like we're going to start out with 2 days a week, and we're going to have up to 50 grams of carbs or so, to see if I can shock our bodies, because he does it too, back into or off of the plateau. And for me, it was gaining back off of that, to realize that it's not never going to get another carb again. I'm thinking that I was just being too strict, and rather than helping, I was hurting myself. So I'm going to try to incorporate 2 days a week back into our diet some healthy carbohydrates. And so I'm going to do beans and rice later this week, and I'm so excited about that. Still trying to decide whether pintos or llamas, because I love them both. And then we're going to have some kind of enchiladas or something for our second day later this week with these tortillas. But I don't know if it was a fluke this morning, but I woke up 2 pounds down after what I considered a cheat day, because I had a low carb, well, 2.5 low carb tortillas over the day. So I'm wondering if mixing it up is, if you've been on a long-term plateau, or if you've been strict for so long and you're no longer losing, or like me, you were gaining, whether it would be smarter to add that back in. And this is probably going to be a little TMI here, but I'm going to tell you anyways. I have a lot of stomach distress, and I haven't done a whole lot of the oils in over a year, because my stomach lining got ate away, and the excess oils ate away more of it. So I still cook with ghee and coconut oil and all those things, but I haven't been adding the MCT oil to my coffee, which I just have 4 mornings a week when I work. I still put in some heavy whipping cream, and I use stevia. But I got myself some of the mocha MCT oil, and oh my gosh, it was so good. But rather than measuring, I was just dumping some in my coffee. And y'all, I thought I was gonna die. I'm telling you, I thought I need to go to the hospital. Nobody should have this much stomach trouble. And it was bad, and that happened to me last week twice. And in the middle of the night, I thought, oh my gosh, I added that MCT oil back in and it was too much for me. I knew better. I caused definite issues with my digestive system by having too much of it, so I'm going to cut that back down. And this is a product that Candy just showed me. I've been waiting on this to get in. It's called Fat Water, and it has the brain octane oil from Bulletproof in it, and it's like $3.29, and it actually tastes pretty good. It says it's pineapple, 20 calories, but it does have 3 grams of carbs. So normally I wouldn't have drank this because I wouldn't have wanted 3 grams of carbs, but now that I'm going to allow myself a few more carbs and see if it's going to work a little better, I'm going to try this. This is called Refresh and Focus, and we're going to try to continue to get more in, and if they have more flavors, we'll get more flavors. But it has 1 gram of fat, so I guess it's not a lot of fat, but it's it's water. Pineapple water, I guess. But anyway, what I'm suggesting that you consider or look up is carb cycling. So if you've been doing keto or low carb for a long time, and you've been doing intermittent fasting with it, and you feel like, man, I'm doing everything right, and how are these people, you know, I lost 8 pounds this week. I'm so thrilled for them. I'm not jealous of them. I'm happy for them, because if that's what their body needed, it's working. But if you've been living this lifestyle for a length of time like I have, which is about 2.5 years, and it's not working, or you're going backwards, I think that our body may need a little trick in, and I'm going to try the carb cycling, and I'll come back on. I'm going to give it a couple of weeks and see what happens, and I'll let you know too if it causes any cravings, because I'm not the type of girl who can have an Oreo. I eat a whole box and go back to the store and get another box. That's why I have to cut that kind of stuff completely out. And right now I'm not hungry, and I'm fasting still for today until noon. So this did not cause me, a low carb tortilla did not cause me to start craving anything. So that's important too. Garnett, I see you wrote something. Can you suggest a reading or research to give me more info on starting keto and the do's and don'ts? Dr. Mercola has a new book, Garnetta, and I think it's called Fat for Fuel. He is super duper smart, and if you follow his Facebook page, they put quite a few articles on there, but you could follow it and then go click on his page, and he's an athlete. I mean, he uses it to try to I'm sure his body is burning fat for fuel, and he's one of the people who doesn't have excess weight to lose anymore, who's burning the fat for fuel to be an athlete and to you know, be a lean, mean exercising machine, I suppose. But the same things that are in there are the things that would help those of us who have weight to lose. But the thing is that I found out after about the first year, and with my digestive issues, is you need a little bit more of those good fats in the very beginning to help yourself get into ketosis, where you are very carb restricted and you're switching your body around from burning on carbs to start to burning on fat. Then you don't need as many of those extra fats, because you don't want your body burning an avocado and some coconut oil today. You want your body burning your hips. You know what I mean? You want to, if you're in it for weight loss, you don't need fat bombs. You know, you may need that in the beginning to get into it, but once your body is adapted to burning on fat, you want it to be burning your fat. That's the most important thing to know. And a lot of people drink the bone broth for something extra to do, but we have a whole keto section up here, and I'm not trying to be all salesy. We have keto breads if you miss breads and you want that, and we have, you know, hamburger buns and all that, pastas and things like that. We have a candy bar that I'm addicted to. It's called Lily's, sweetened with stevia, the Lily's Crunch Bar. Hey, and it's so delicious. So that I do eat and keeps me off of it. We have something called Smart Cakes, a ton of successful people are doing, and we have protein powders. I don't use protein powders or protein bars because I love real food, and I love to cook, so I cook 2 meals a day, and that is what works for us. I have plenty of bacon and eggs. I have chickens, and I buy nitrite-free bacon and natural sausage and things like that, so you can have some really good food. And we're having a ham this week, all kinds of stuff that you think is bad for you. Well, that's putting some fats back in too, and that's important to me because I'm going to be trying this the carb cycling to get enough of the good fats in. But I'm also taking the, what's it called? We're out of it right now, but I have some ordered. It's sugar controller, I believe, the orange bottle of the keto products from Nature's Plus. It has berberine in it, which is the main ingredient, and that helps regulate sugar levels, and it helps you from having cravings and all those kind of stuff. So if you need a supplement at first, their multivitamins specifically helps you get into ketosis faster and stay in ketosis, and to get back in it after you have a cheat. And the berberine, the sugar controller ones, help you to not have any cravings during. But vegetables, I'm in a group, and I don't know if you're in that group or not. It's called Keto Carb Starvers, Keto Works Carb Starvers, and then there's another one called Keto Beauregard Locals, Facebook groups for here in DeRidder, Louisiana, and there's some others, but I just shared my grocery list on there. The lady who is the head of that group, Dina Rushford is her name, she had shared, and somebody bumped her shopping list on there, and hers differs from mine because we all have different taste. But we eat a lot of broccoli, cauliflower. I love cauliflower salad, and if you don't have a cauliflower salad recipe and you want mine, I can be happy to share it with you on here. And then I do like twice baked cauliflower with bacon and cheese in it. We have mashed cauliflower and pretend like it's mashed potatoes, and we do the same thing with turnips, and I slice turnips sometimes and make them like stir-fried potatoes. So anywhere that you think you're going to miss a potato, you can use a turnip or a cauliflower for it to mimic it. And I love creamed spinach. I could eat it every day, and sometimes I'll make it for dinner and then have it for lunch the next day. But we had a cream of broccoli soup. We've had cream of cauliflower soup. Those are really good. Asparagus, roasted asparagus is really good, and now and then you can treat yourself. Prime rib is delicious, steak is delicious, of course, but what you're looking for is meats, but not too much processed meats like ham and bologna and all that kind of junk, but meats, and then vegetables, non-starchy vegetables, so no corn, no potatoes, and we don't eat anything out of a box or really anything out of a can other than the pasta sauce we sell here and the Victoria's pasta sauce that you can get at Walmart. That's a lower carb version, and we have that with the zucchini noodles, and I use Italian sausage as my meat for that, and it's so delicious. We really enjoyed that. My husband said there's no need in us ever having wheat pasta ever again because it is so good. So we have that quite often. And then I fry green tomatoes, I fry squash and all that. That's food that I grew up on, but I make them and I just kind of fry them in ghee or coconut oil, but I don't bread them in anything. And you still get the flavor that's in there. I mean, it's so delicious if you like that, and I do like that. We have grilled squash, grilled zucchini, but I cut them up in little circles like my mama used to do and fry them in the pan just without any cornmeal or flour on it, and it's so good. And I do the same thing with okra. I buy the frozen organic okra that we have here and just sort of stir fry it in some ghee or coconut oil until it really cooks down brown, because that's the way my mama used to cook it with cornmeal, but I just don't put the cornmeal, and it's still just as good. So the main things are that you want to is moderate protein. It's not to where you can't go and have a 14-ounce steak. You're supposed to have the 6 ounce, but and have yourself a salad. But look at your salad dressing. You don't want anything with a bunch of carbs in it. I've got to where I make really good salads like we used to make here, and we use Ken's Greek dressing. You can get it at Walmart. It's delicious. It's like a vinaigrette, but it has a little bit of feta cheese and Kalamata olives in it. And then I buy stuff for us to have salads that make them fancy, so that we don't feel like, oh my gosh, we're having lettuce, tomato, and cucumber tonight. I buy a lot of feta cheese and a lot of different olives and the banana peppers and walnuts, and then kind of fancy dressings. I'll spend a little more on that so that we feel like we're really getting this beautiful treat when really we're just having a salad for dinner. And I never use iceberg lettuce. It doesn't have any flavor to me. I don't like the way that it tastes, but it doesn't have the nutritional value. I'll always use like a spring mix or a half and half mix, they call it, with spinach, so you're getting more of those greens in. And we have scrambled eggs a lot, and my grandkids call them fancy. They don't like the fancy ones, but I always put nearly a half a bag of spinach, and I'll cook that down with onions and bell peppers, scramble the eggs, and then put that vegetable mix on top of that, and then some Boursin cheese or whatever kind of cheese on top of that. And we use like a green salsa now and then, and it's just absolutely delicious. There's no reason that you can't eat like a queen and king on this way of eating, and that's the most important part. But it's only eat non-starchy vegetables like greens and some tomatoes, some onions, cucumbers, and all the ones that I mentioned earlier. And that's going to take up most of your plate. Then you're going to have a small piece of meat, whatever kind you like. Chicken, you can get a great grilled chicken. I stop on the way home sometimes and just get the grilled chicken patty at Wendy's and bring it home and throw it on my homemade salad. Boom, dinner ready. And the same thing, the hamburger patties are good at Burger King. If you're hungry and you're out there, Sonic will serve you a foot-long chili cheese coney with grilled onions and no bun, and it tastes okay. I'm not all into the excuse me, nitrates and nitrites, but it's so doable. You're not hungry after that, and it does taste good. So that's the thing, is to keep the meat in moderation, or the protein in moderation. They're wanting that to be about 15%, I think, of your daily intake, and for the most of the rest of that to be fat. But it's confusing when you say that, because you don't want to sit around and just eat tablespoons of coconut oil all day long. Those fats are going to come from macadamia nuts, or cooking in those fats, avocados, the little bit of walnuts, almonds, whatever nuts that you want to eat. And you can add some to your coffee or drink a fat water. But what that does is, you're thinking, oh, that's not going to leave me much food, but that fat makes you feel so full, and your body's running on that you really don't want a whole lot. You sit down to that big old salad and you eat half of it, and you're thinking, how in the world can I be full? I know me. I know I would want seconds of something, and you just don't. So that's the good thing of it. But if you do get stuck, just look up the carb rotation thing. I'm fixing to try it, and I'll share that with y'all. But look up Dr. Mercola's site. Another, let's see, what's his name? Dr. Josh Axe is a good one to follow on Facebook, and Dr. Mark Hyman is another good one. He has had a couple of books on thyroid issues and on coconut oil, and all of those guys follow this ketogenic diet, and they are all some of the healthiest people that I've ever seen. So that's a good way to go. But we do have, turn around, look at the section, a whole thing of fake ketchups and fake mayonnaises and fake coffee sweeteners and MCT oils and powder and extra collagen to put in. We have everything in the world like that you would want here. And if you think you're going to miss soda, we have Zevia, and Virgil's has a new one, and we have on this side all kinds of different flavors of stevia sweetener, so you don't feel deprived. That's the thing, is if you can get through that first couple of weeks eating good, find you some good recipes, eating good, then the hunger's going to go down. And during those beginning months, I mean, it's motivation to get on those scales. And I just print out a blank calendar off of Word or whoever, off of the internet, and I personally write down every morning when I wake up. I get up and weigh, and then I write down what I ate the day before, and it's just become a habit now. But the reason that I started that, and the reason that I thought that was important, is that when I have a gain, or I can look back and say, oh man, the last 3 times I ate chicken I gained. So you want to keep that in mind, that there's something in chicken that doesn't agree with me, and I can't eat that much dairy because I gain or don't lose well whenever I eat too many cream soups in 1 week. So writing that down, and just I have a like the notebook that you could get on sale right now because it's about school supply time. And I keep it in my bathroom right next to the scale with an ink pen right there, and I just get up and do that every morning. It's my habit. I can't, when my eyes open up, I think, oh, I need to pee. I'm going to see how much I weigh, write that down, and then go down and start my morning. So if there's any other things that I can help you with, I would be happy to do that. You know, kind of we're all in this together. If you know me and you're here local, you know that, you know, I've had a weight problem for, you know, probably 20 years now. This is our 10th year in business here, and I go up and down, but if I can find something new and research it, that's what I'm happy to do, because that's why I'm in this business and why I do what I do, and I want other people to be able to learn from that as well. So if we can help you, let us know, and good luck to you. And if you've stalled and tried something that's helped you with your stall, or if you've gained while not cheating, let me know what you did. And if you tried the carb cycling, let me know how that goes, because it helps me, helps so many other people when I can share the information that I learned from, you know, that I learned from other people. I know everybody's not going to be like me and stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning reading about carb cycling, so that's why I'm here for you, because that is what I do. But anytime that you can, you know, find something that's working, let me know and let me share that good news with other people, because if we can all help each other, we will all be healthier in the long run, and that's got to be the goal. So I thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you next time. Hopefully less of me. Bye.